Hi students, so in the previous chapter we had discussed about the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid, gas. So in this chapter we will know about more about the matters. Okay, so basically we are moving towards the chemistry part of the science. So there are very few pure metals on the earth and other things are mixed up with something. They are made up of number of substances. Okay, for example, in the atmosphere, the gas, there are so many gases, number of gases. There is oxygen, there is nitrogen, there is carbon dioxide. Okay, so everything in the world is made up of particles or molecules. So you can see, so it is in your book also. There is a picture of that mouse. Okay, this mouse, body of this mouse is made of variety of chemicals. All these chemicals are made up of molecules of different or more so one or more substances. Okay. So she is taking a cup of tea. So how she would know that there is sugar in it or it is feeling tasty or not? It is tasting good or not? If it is sweet, then if she tastes it and if it is sweet, then there is sugar in it. But to know a taste or to know a thing, to know a substance, is it good to taste everything? No, because there may be so much chemical, there may be so many poisonous chemicals in it, in any substance, in general. There may be any poisonous substance in it, there may be any harmful substance in it. So it is not good to, it is not okay to taste or smell or touch anything. Okay, so we have to go in a process that without testing we can also know its taste or we can know the chemicals better. Okay, know a substance better. So introduction to chemistry. It is not always easy to tell what is a substance or a solution is. We cannot test all the things out to find out. Some things do not test anything, others may be poisonous also. Testing them could be dangerous also. So to find out what exactly what something is made up of, we need to know about chemistry. So in chemistry, what do you study? The first thing is what the things are made up of. That is which substances. What these substances like means their properties. Okay. Then what happens when they come together means if they come together, what is the effect of that product? So chemists separate substance from each other to find out what is in them. They first try to separate. Okay. For example, imagine salt, sand, and iron fillings are all mixed together. So here is a way we can separate them. So first one is, so let me show you. It is in your book also, but I will show you video. So here it is sand, salt and iron fillings. Take a beaker, then put some sand in it. Okay, he is adding 3 tablespoons of sand. Then he is adding salt in it also. In same amount, he is adding 3 tablespoons of salt. Then you add iron fillings. Okay, see. Then you have to do what? Then you have to, before preparing the mixture, weigh each other's results. So you don't have to weigh now. So you have to stir it like that. Like they will be mixed well. Then take a bar magnet. You have to take a bar magnet. Bar magnet is a magnet in which there is 2 poles, north poles and north pole. Every magnet has north pole, south pole. So this is a bar magnet. This is used in chemistry labs. So you have to take a bar magnet and you have to move it across the surface of the mixture so that it will collect the iron fillings. Iron fillings are small particles of iron. So it will collect, will attract the iron fillings towards it. So all of the iron fillings will be taken out with the help of bar magnet. So the iron fillings get attracted to the magnet while sand and salt are laid between. Then he will do what? Let's see. Then now we will add about 100 ml of water into the mixture. Let's see, it is adding water to it. So what will he do next? Then he will stir it, the mixture but thoroughly, then filter the mixture into a conical flask. He will taking a conical flask and here is a filter paper. So if you pour the water into the conical flask, it will be filtered, and the sand particles which is insoluble in water and they are bigger in size than the salt particles, they will remain on the filter paper, and in the conical flask there will be only salt and water. So how will we separate salt and water? Okay, so for that we have to do what? We have to take a beaker or china dish, then do what? Pour the water, salt water into that, then a tripod stand, take a burner, put it on the burner, then relight it. Okay, then wait for the solution until the water from the solution evaporates, and allow the residue of the salt after evaporation, allow that to cool for some time, wait cool for some time. So now the salt is also obtained. So we had mixed the three items and we had also separated the three items. We had not touched three items, we had not tested three items. Okay, so this is the process we can separate a mixture. So then impure water with particles of dirt in it can be left standing in a container for some time. So here if you are collecting some impure water and if you keep it for some time, you can see that the particles that present in the impure water, that will settle down to the water. This process of separation is known as sedimentation. Okay, this process is known as sedimentation. And the clear water at the top. Okay, you can see here. So the particles are settling down at the bottom. This is known as sedimentation. If the pure water at the upside, that will be put down, that will be poured down to the another beaker, then that is known as decantation. Okay, the method of separation is decantation. So here is separation of mixture of sand and water using sedimentation and decantation. Then we will discuss about properties of a substance. Have you ever eaten a chapati, roti? Do you know what one is made of? So how is it made? The substance which make up chapati are water, salt and flour. So water is a liquid. If you are eating chapati, then do you feel it is liquid in a liquid mode? No. It has definite volume but doesn't have definite shape. Which is water. In the previous chapter we have read that it doesn't smell anything in particular, and you can see through it. There are some properties of water. Can you think any properties of water? What are the properties of flour and salt? When the three substances water, flour and salt are get mixed together, they form dough. Okay, after the forming of dough, the water makes the dough wet, then the salt makes the dough salty, then the substance are changed. So water is different, salt is different, flour is different. So mixing them in a proper proportion. Okay, in a definite proportion we can make chapati. Okay. So, is the chapati still a liquid? No. Is the proper chapati is clear like water? No. Can you see the white salt in this? No. Can you see the white powder in it? No. So the three substances had effect on each other. Okay, those three substances had an effect upon each other. But the dough has properties different from water, salt, and flour. So this is the process. And another thing, in the chemical process there is change of state. Heating and cooling can change the substance from one state to another. Like we have known here, like if we are heating water, then the water gets evaporated. If we are cooling water, it gets into solid form. It forms ice. So for example, if a liquid is heated, it can become gas. If a solid is heated, it can become liquid. The molecules in a substance remain the same. Okay, that doesn't change. Whatever the state, the difference is the same between the molecules is not the same. But the molecules in the substance are same. Substance change their state when they melt or boil or condense or freeze. Okay. Then change is of two types: physical change, chemical change. So in physical change, one can return to its original state, but in a chemical change, one cannot return to a original state. In a physical change, there is only change in state. Okay, from one state to another, or any change of shape. Okay, but no new substances are formed in a physical change. But chemical change, like wood and paper are bound to give us. Can you get wood from that ash? No. If I can change what? If I am changing water into ice, if I will take out the ice from the fridge refrigerator and keep it outside, then after some time it will convert it into water. So this is the difference between physical change and chemical change. This was in our chapter. Thank you.